super helpful, handy practice to have. And if you haven't done tapping before, again, just watch me, and there's no really getting it perfect. It's not like some super precise point you have to hit. It's not like acupuncture. I mean, you can do it, but it's not the same. So whatever you do is going to be good enough. And feel free to engage or not engage. But if you will, you simply start. And it's called tapping because we're taking, you can use your hand, but I usually use just 2 fingers. What do you call this? 4-finger, middle finger, is that what it is? Anyway, I take these 2 fingers, but it can be 3 fingers, it can be your whole hand. Again, doesn't matter that much. And tap the outside of your other hand. We call it the karate chop point. Right? So if you're going to karate chop somebody, that'd be the point. Just follow me. All I'm doing is I'm lightly tapping, kind of like the behavior. The pressure, you decide the pressure, but you want to be able to feel it. Obviously, you're not, not hammering yourself. I'm going to be able to feel it, but gently. Feel free to kind of play with the pressure, the touch. And as we do it, we're going to go through, we're going to speak through, let's call it a story. And feel free to follow along silently or just listen. Even though the world seems crazy right now, I choose to be sane. And awake. You'll notice I'm bringing up what might be considered a negative, pairing it with what might be considered a positive alternative. I invite you to release any judgment. And be with the process. Or just observe. So now I'm going to tap. You can see I'm using both hands now because I can. You don't have to. You can just use one hand, 2 fingers, just above my eyebrow. So again, I like to use 2 hands when it's easy. Doesn't necessarily double effects, but who's to say? It's good. Even though it seems impossible for me to make a difference in the world, I am committed to the idea that I can. Even though it just seems absolutely impossible to make a difference, I believe I can. Now we're going to tap punches on the outside, just on the outside of the eye socket, kind of close to the temple. Again, any refinements can be made later. Even though there's so much going on, it's hard to even know where to focus. I choose to focus on what I know matters to me. Even though it's just things are so crazy, it's like, where do I even focus? I choose to focus on what I know, what my body knows matters most to me. Now, right under the eyes, it's in the bone or at the bottom of the eye socket. Even though there's so much going on in my own life, never mind the rest of the world, something inside me knows I can make a difference. Even though my own life, my own family, my own community, this keeps me so busy, thought, word, and action. I know I can make a meaningful difference. Now, under the nose, spot above your upper lip and just under your nose. Even though there are so many distractions, infinite distractions, I choose to be focused on what's meaningful to me. Even though the distractions, there's so many distractions and distractions distract each other. Doesn't matter. I choose to be focused on what matters most. Under the lower lip, just above the chin, that little space there. Even though there are infinite needs to be fulfilled in the world, I choose to serve where I'm being called. Knowing that I'm serving important needs. Even though I could easily just sit back and wonder and despair at all the needs that need to be fulfilled in the world. I choose to meet those needs, to serve those needs. I am called to serve. Knowing that only by doing my part can we all together fulfill the needs. On the collarbone, and this works well with two hands. Feel free to use one here, here, both. Even though Earth clearly needs we humans to get on board, I know that by answering my calling, I am filling that niche in the ecosystem that needs me, my work, my respect, my care. Even though I can hear Mother Earth crying everywhere I go, I can feel the peace of knowing that I care. And I'm doing what I can. Now, under the arm. Women, this is where the cross strap would run. This is kind of in the bottom of your armpit. Even though I'm on Earth all the time, I notice I'm not always listening. So I commit to listening more. Even though I am on this earth all the time. I'm not always present. I'm not always listening. And as I remember that, I simply listen more. Now, finish up top of the head, crown of the head, and one or two. Even though I normally associate this head with thinking, thinking not always such great thoughts. I allow myself to feel more and think in ways that help me serve. Even though I often get lost in thinking, and sometimes the thinking ain't too helpful, I commit to a more mindful path ahead. Feeling my steps upon the earth and listening. I hope that was restorative. Obviously, it could be much more, could be much quicker than that. You could do just parts of it. If you're somewhere and you're just feeling out of sorts, or you feel like you need to get reconnected, feeling a little stressed, you can do parts of it. Run through the whole tapping quickly. Feel free to reach out if you have questions.